I'm Donna Blanchard, and this is your ThinkTech Daily News for Monday, June 22nd, 2015. The European Central Bank has once again increased funding to struggling Greek banks. That's the third time in less than a week. Greek depositors have been withdrawing funds from their accounts as time runs down to the June 30th deadline for Greece to pay its creditors or risk being removed from the Eurozone and possibly the European Union. But there is good news. The leaders of the 19-country Eurozone are meeting in Brussels, and Greece has submitted a proposed budget for consideration. Jeroen Dijsselbloem, head of the Eurogroup of Eurozone finance ministers, said at a news conference today that the proposal was a positive step in the process and a basis to really start the talks. Jean-Claude Juncker, the European Commission president, says he is aiming for a deal with Greece by the end of the week. The Taliban attacked the Afghan parliament and overtook the Arki district, which borders Kunduz, the capital of Kunduz province. The parliament attack was timed to coincide with the appearance of the acting defense minister, who was to be confirmed in that position. It's the third attempt to confirm a defense minister, as the first two choices of President Ashraf Ghani were rejected by parliament. Afghanistan has been without a defense minister since President Ghani's coalition government was elected last September. There have been reports of several injuries but no fatalities from that attack. A car bomb was detonated in front of one of the parliament's gates. Then 7 gunmen tried to enter the parliament, but they were stopped by security detail. The Arki district is the second district the Taliban has claimed in 2 days. The Chahardara district fell to the insurgents just yesterday. An Al Jazeera journalist was released by German authorities today after being detained because of an Egyptian request for arrest and extradition. Mr. Ahmed Mansour is being charged by the Egyptian government for torturing a lawyer in Cairo during the uprising against former President Hosni Mubarak in 2011. Germany's decision to hold the journalist was widely criticized. Piotr Malenkowski, a spokesman of the Justice Ministry in Germany, told reporters today that the federal police has acted on a request for Mr. Mansour's detention issued by Egypt and circulated via Interpol, but a spokesman for Interpol denied that the agency had an active alert on file for anyone called Ahmed Mansour. As anticipated, the European Union has officially extended sanctions on Russia through January. The Kremlin responded vehemently, calling the measure self-defeating and accusing the West of anti-Russian bias. The Russian government says that they will retaliate with an extension of their counter-sanctions. More than 250 people have died in an intense heat wave in southern Pakistan. As temperatures have hovered around 111 degrees Fahrenheit, power outages have made relief impossible, especially for those in poorer communities. This is also the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, which means Ramadan is being observed. Practicing Muslims do not eat or drink during daylight hours during Ramadan, making the effects of the extreme heat wave that much more deadly. Following the shooting at an African-American church in South Carolina last week, many have called for the removal of a Confederate battle flag that flies over the state capitol grounds. Today, Governor Nikki Haley of South Carolina called for the removal of that flag. She said that though residents have the right to show the Confederate battle flag on private property, the State House is different, and the events of this past week call upon us to look at this in a different way. In Mark Marone's WTF podcast released today, Mark talked with President Obama, who said that the U.S. is not cured of racism. The legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, discrimination in almost every institution of our lives casts a long shadow, and that is still a part of our DNA. A hooey-ho, everyone. Donna Blanchard, ThinkTech Daily News.